Within the educational environment, the reflective practitioner can look to models and mentors to help them with their reflective practice. Peer mentoring is a useful strategy for reflection. Peer mentoring is a relationship, a shared relationship between the reflective practitioner and a colleague, which involves both giving and receiving in terms of knowledge and information. And as such, peer mentoring is very much an equal partnership. It's an equal relationship between two professionals. The effectiveness of these relationships is because the interaction between the individuals is unrestricted, and there's a high degree of trust and openness, honesty between the two individuals. And because it can be quite a formal relationship, there is a great degree of commitment and responsibility from both the reflective practitioner and the peer mentor. And because of this accountability, it is something which can become quite powerful to aid reflection. The thing about peer mentoring is that it can fit very neatly into friendship and relationships that an individual can have, and so becomes very easy to conduct. Unfortunately, this is the mentoring can be overlooked because of the nature of the relationship between the individuals, and therefore it may not achieve its full potential. What's important for the reflective practitioner to remember that peer mentoring is a professional relationship and not just two friends talking. So perhaps a starting point is to begin with a friend, somebody who you can trust, a colleague that you work with very closely. And what you need to do is put time aside regularly, every day, once a week, once a month, to actually talk to and discuss, share ideas about the experiences that are occurring in the school. And what is important to remember is that this relationship must be balanced. The peer mentor and the reflective practitioner are equal partners in this relationship. And the nature of the discussion, the sharing that takes place, is to focus on areas of concern, not just to be general. General discussion will actually just be two people talking rather than peer mentoring. And so it's important for the reflective practitioner to ask very good, very powerful questions in relation to areas of concern, and for both the reflective practitioner and the peer mentor to be accountable for the answers which are explored through the questions. The best peer mentoring then can be characterized by a number of things. One is honesty. In terms of the exchange of information and ideas. There should be respect for discussion and questioning, for reflection and for feedback. The power between the two individuals should also be equal. It is an equal partnership. There is a mutual regard between the peer mentor and the reflective practitioner. As an equal relationship, it is unconditional acceptance. And the peer mentoring activity that takes place happens within limits and boundaries. It is not something that can spill over into everyday life. The benefits of peer mentoring are many, and there's lots of literature to talk about peer mentoring. It does create a sense of belonging within the organisation because of the amount of support it provides. It contributes to successful outcomes, to successful work, and helps people develop networks and relationships in the organisation. And by helping to build a sense of the individual joining the community builds on the culture of the organisation and therefore the success of that culture. And it also then helps people identify the resources available to support effective work. What research says about mentoring is that it improves academic performance and an individual's self-efficacy in terms of their academic performance. In other words, how they can manage their own academic performance. It also creates a larger degree of satisfaction in terms of work. It also has been shown that it helps people develop a sense of autonomy in terms of choice in the organisation, and this leads to a certain persistence in terms of achieving goals. Research also shows that it improves interpersonal skills and interpersonal communication between members of the organisation, and the psychosocial support within the organisation becomes very, very powerful. And when a reflective practitioner, for example, is dealing with behavioural problems, this becomes a very significant positive impact. Making good use of a peer mentor then for reflective practice is very important, but the reflective practitioner needs to be aware of the mentor roles. The roles for the mentor are to listen to the reflective practitioner, to share experiences and understandings about practice, to work together to mutually develop skills for teaching and working in schools, and to work together to develop networks around the school environment. And the reflective practitioner roles are to be active in terms of participating in this relationship, and the communication and the interpersonal aspect, it becomes very important. And the reflective practitioner must remain open to the shared experiences, the ideas and the feedback from the mentor, and also to accept responsibility for the success of the outcomes of the peer mentoring process.